still flowing, never stop or look back, we still going. Oh, we can't blame nobody, double R in the scope. Put that cake up, but we ain't got platinum, but we made niggas wake up. We're like in the World Series.
In terms of hospitality, I focus on things you can't see. And the experience is the ultimate thing. So why do I want to be anything? I don't want to be anything other than an experience officer. Like, I'm in hospitality. I'm a restaurateur. My name is Olabi Akani Model. Currently, I'm the experience officer for a hospitality group brand. We've got Circa Lagos. We've got the Poro Lagos. We've got the Bodega Emporium. Thank you. When you think of Circa, you think of excellent food, unexceptional service, but at the same time, community. It's done with a lot of humanity. We're very intentional about who we are and what we do. So I'll tell you what the Bodega is. The Bodega, largely to an extent, was meant to be an extension of a supply business that we've been running, which was more B2B, slightly B2C, because it wasn't that pronounced. We started from supplying our own demands and then started transferring to other clients, other people. We were fulfilling needs, in terms of the value chain of food, like the produce, flour, chicken, meat, fish, different things, because we had to do it for ourselves. And we had to because it was a need. We needed to manage our cash flow in terms of financial engineering, and at the same time deliver the same level of quality that we are known for and we've been known for almost 8 years. Servicing B2B led to the fact that we started doing numbers, and we thought about, okay, you know what? What's the next step? We then decided to pivot to this. It's a very unusual grocery experience. You come in, you're not sure if this is actually a grocery store, but you see groceries and you see stuff. And then we want to give the best type of service possible in terms of convenience, in terms of understanding. When this idea was conceptualized, everybody was kind of worried because when you think about it, the Bodega and Circa, they're like 600, 700 meters apart. So it's almost like, would this one cannibalize this? And I had this thing firmly in my head that it wasn't. And I just thought about it like, look, people would like to shop the way I like to shop. I know it's very off the road, but this is how I like to shop. Like, there are certain shops I'll go to in terms of my groceries, and I'm unapologetic about it. It's not because they're preppy. It's not because they just go with my personality. And, I just want a very, very different environment. I mean, different in the sense that it's almost like dynamic. It could either be Flintstones or the Jetsons, if you think of it that way. Like, it could be in the future or in the past, but you could also be in a relaxed environment. Do your grocery shopping, let it offer you more. Like a social house. Yeah, like a social house. Because at the end of the day, it's all about community. So when you say crossover, and in terms of that, I think they're like very much related. We're in a process of evolution. I can tell you categorically that for the last 8 to 10 years, all I've been doing is building. In terms of the industry, getting to know it, looking at the gaps, looking at where I want to play. I obviously want to play at the top of the chain, and amazingly, I had a fantastic team that worked with me all through the process. We met 11 o'clock on Thursdays. We had a team from South Africa, the team from Nigeria ended up doing an unbelievable job, and then it just started morphing. Conceptualization, a lot of ideation. We started piecing things together. We ran polls, we put out surveys, we wanted to be sure. I mean, a lot of frustration, but at the end of the day, look, the bodega is going to be what the bodega will be. It could be a coffee shop. It could be where you come and you just enjoy the ambience. The food will always be amazing. The produce will always be fantastic. Everybody can provide food. Come on, there are so many ghost kitchens these days that you just go on an app and you get food. Even in your house, you can get food. But how does the food get to your table? What is the depth? Where is the depth in terms of even knowing what the full supply chain is? And being able to provide these things at an affordable rate, it came about from being a practitioner, knowing that you've invested so much, bootstrapped. You can't sleep because all it takes is a trend to come or something to come, but you want to really consolidate in the industry. So that's what's led to the bodega. The bodega is just the next phase of another phase, and of so many other phases to come. It's not even about me anymore. It's about everybody that comes and everybody that interacts with the space. But most importantly, I need people to respect the space and respect the community. Like, apart from the fact that we sell food and experiences and the intangibles, real estate is part of the business. So people need to respect it, use it judiciously, and think about the next person. This space is all about humanity. When it comes to names, I'm totally useless. For almost every business, I haven't come up with a name. So this came from the team in South Africa. It was some guy, one of the consultants, and he goes, "What do you think of a bodega?" So I just kind of liked it, and he put the spin Emporium. I thought Emporium was too posh. I slept over it. Next day I woke up, it rang. I kept vibing with the name, and it just stuck. And the Bodega Emporium, here we are. I've always been a big coffee lover. I drink coffee every day quite a number of times because I like it. I like to consume. Coffee is amazing. You can't stop once you start. But the coffee at the bodega is on another level. And what has even made it better is how the baristas have taken over the show. Yeah, there's this thing when you actually love what you do. Yeah, so I think it's not even me. It's not me anymore. It's the baristas now and the guys there working the machine, because if you put me in front of that machine, I'll be totally useless. But the beans are amazing, and everything we try to do, we try to deliver. I mean, what else do you expect from us without trying to be cocky, please? Also in that space, going with the theme of a bodega, I mean, when you think about a New York bodega now, man, the cold cuts, the sandwiches that you get there, absolutely amazing. So we're creating that concept downstairs. We're doing a sandwich bar from our smoked range. So we've got an array of different cuts of meat, chicken, turkey. You can build your own sandwich. We got a bread specialist, a guy called Faz that calls himself the bread mechanic. I mean, what else do you expect if it's from a bread mechanic? A lot of deli products are going to come from us, which we feel will be the difference, because we're going to put a lot of creativity and love into all that. So watch out for things like our smoked range products that you can vacuum pack and we can sell. We've got good suppliers. One of them is Green Tech and Mint. You get good produce from them. You can get all your fresh produce. You can get your eggs. You can get your bread. You can get your daily groceries. You can get your snacks. You move up to the butchery section with more. You can get a wide range of things: butter, cheese, yogurt, your day-to-day groceries, flour, all-purpose, your syrups, anything you want. We've got an entire section dedicated to dietary needs, just in case, because we realize that everybody is trying to be healthy or get a healthier version of themselves. And then we've decided to create 3 types of bread for this. We have our brioche, we have sourdough, which honestly is fire. Brioche is my best. You just let it rest for a day and then it just starts to change. It's almost like the bread starts to mutate. And then we've got our normal family loaf that it's become a favorite for everybody. And then we're going to introduce a lot of things. We want to try out the concept and see if people actually do it as this is for our grab and go range. Also, we're going to have packed salads just in case you just want to move, grab something and go. The pastry is very personal. For me, I was only going to serve pastries I can eat. There's always a personal touch to every single thing. For me, I'm like the starter when you're making bread, So once I start, the team just takes it. Yeah. But I remember going somewhere was out of Nigeria, and it was this amazing location, and I wandered and I went into this barn-like store. I can't even call it a grocery store, but it was in the same place. It had cobblestones, and you could buy wine, and it just gave me an idea that the Bodega Emporium, the bodega in Spanish means bread, groceries, meat, everything, wine. So I'm like, I'll incorporate wine. And I just thought, you know what, we'll have that space with some chillers, a table, crackers, cheese, nice things. You can sit, we'll cut bread. If you want to buy wine, sample wine there, just try and, you understand. That one I was trying to just act like I was posh. We had some coaches come in and we needed a space. So we ended up building a table that could accommodate most of us to come in for the 2-day workshop and, just make it seem like a serious and workspace. And then we did it. People just started gravitating towards the space. Like randomly, people will come in, sit down with their computers or their laptops and just start working out of the space. And as soon as we were done, all of a sudden you saw that people started working out of the space. I started realizing that a lot of people now, to a large extent, are remote workers. What was fascinating was I thought I knew a lot of people from Circa. Like, I see people, I've seen a lot of people, but I'd never seen most of these people. And what was amazing was they all knew themselves, at least to an extent. And I'm like, oh wow, this is gold. It's a new community, an entire demographics for me to explore. And that's how it started. And my major concern at that point was, gosh, I don't want this place to be seen as a restaurant or a coffee shop or a bistro. It's a grocery store. And then we had to start paying diesel or buying diesel. And I looked at the space, I looked at my numbers. I'm like, this dude, are you insane? And people just started coming in, and from there we just started running it bit by bit, introducing them to this, that, started preparing. We had a menu set up because we had worked extensively. Our menu cards, everything was in place. We knew what we could. We were sampling, we did a lot of testing. It was, as far as I'm concerned, my accountant thinks I'm mad in terms of how much we spent just trying to fine-tune the menu. And I'm like, look, I can't do it any other way. This is the only way I know. There's a lot of intentionality with everything I do. Food, my relationships, my interactions, my delivery, my fashion. With the food, it's very personal. I mostly start the R&D process. Then we start to piece it together with my team. I have a chef that understands me now to a large extent. And then once I start the process, I obviously look for the recipes. But most times I try to, I try to deconstruct for it to suit the way I would like to. Most times, and most of the things you've seen at Circa and at the bodega right now are things and the way I like to eat. The sad part is, during the process after creating, which I end up being like the test object, because I'm the one that will do all the food sampling first, till it gets to a level where I'm comfortable or confident enough to call other people to come and try. Once we're done with that process, it's almost impossible for me to eat that meal again. It's so sad. It's almost like you create a masterpiece or something that is totally unique to yourself, but you can't experience after a while because it becomes a struggle. Like, sometimes it takes me 6 months, and then going to a dish like not ramen. For me, that came about from my love for Naruto. Naruto loves ramen, and he loves to eat it in a particular spot. But then I thought about it, like, developing a broth, that's another job on its own, to be able to create that consistently, and I was not going to touch it. So I'm like, this is the way I would like to eat a stir-fried noodle. Keep it nice, keep it moist, the noodle al dente, and then I like my eggs rum, and we mashed it up, and then we came up with it. It was built with an Asian and African touch, in the sense that the noodles, some parts of it is varied, and we layered with some crayfish, Yeah, yeah, and onions as well. So it's like a burst of flavor when you get into your mouth. I think the good part about the bodega is this was something that was consummated with love. And people tend to use the word creatives loosely. But on the bodega, I think I worked with the most creative people I've ever come across. From the guys that did the M&E to the floor. It took us almost 6 months to achieve this. Baba Ghana did a fantastic job documenting every process, every step of the way. So by the time we were done, I think to a large extent we had created what I want to believe as at today is one of the happiest spaces in Nigeria. So it was only right that we showcased all the processes. And then Ade Shokunbi, my bon, the architect, was like, you know what, why don't we knew we were going to print out our pictures. That was because we already done that at Circa, the process. But Ade is like, you know what, why don't we print it and put it on canvas? And then, it was like, and then he had some color markings, and Baba Ghana did a mock-up and then did his own thing. And I'm like, this color, it was just perfect. And for me, it's such an important part of the whole process because the level of craftsmanship that went into creating what we know today as the bodega is almost second to none. Yeah. So I think right now the space is just in charge of itself. So it's actually the space dictating what you fit. And for me, it's important that you don't rush to finish a space. I think a space should forever be, you should forever be working on your space, just like yourself. The future of the bodega is to scale, because I believe a bodega can be in every neighborhood with the right demographic or the right demographics. From the depth of my soul to the Almighty, and I pray the universe conspires today, we're going to be at the top of the chain in terms of the logistics, in terms of owning vessels to deliver this experience to you. Where the food comes from, sourcing locally, the entire value chain of logistics up onto processing, personalization, white labeling. The future is very bright. And I pray, and I know for sure, that the universe will conspire into making this a reality. It's already happening.